Okay, so let's talk about your activities as a professional. There are 4 finance activities, and they are like follows. Well, first of all, you need to assemble the information. So the first activity would be to assemble. Assemble means that you need to gather the information, you need to identify which information is needed and which is not, because it's not that the wall just gives you the information that you need. Now you need to take it from whatever is not important quite often. So you will cleanse this information, meaning that you will get rid of the data that you need, that you do not need. And then you will assemble that information, that data, into information, into some sort of reporting. And when you have a report, then this means that your data got some structured view, and it is able to be analyzed. So then you are going to analyze. And when you analyze that information, you are likely to come up with some insight. So, for example, you will compare budgeted revenue with the actual revenue, and you will see that there is an increase, and you will think about what has changed. And you will see that maybe the increase is because you launched the new product, and this new product is complementary to your old product. And when you launch the new product, you got new customers for this new product, but also they bought some of the previous one. So like, for example, if you have some coffee shop and you decided to sell some very nice vanilla latte, then people would come to vanilla latte, but they will also buy some cakes that you sell. You analyze that, you get some insight like, okay, so this new latte allows us to sell more cakes. And then you will try to influence, you will advise to influence, which means that you are going to communicate your results to the others so that we can think about that on how to change the performance. So this means that we are going to advise. And when you communicate it, when you are trying to influence, why are you doing that? Well, because you want to find a solution, you want to change something in the organization to improve the performance. So you will try to apply for impact. And applying for impact means that you help your organization through the guided actions to get this desired outcome. So like, let us think about that. Like, for example, you found out that the new type of coffee allows you to increase the sales. Wow, that is great. So how about now we will try to come up with a new sort of coffee each and every month. So we will try to explain the baristas what they need to do, and then we are going to try to introduce that as a procedure, as such impacting our performance. So that is going to be applied. But you know what? You actually need to know your business in detail. You need to know how each and everything is connected. So what you need to have acumen. Acumen means that you need to be able to come up with some ideas about what you are doing and why, and that will allow you to impact the full process. So we will try to take the information that we have and try to transform that into the actions. And when you do that, you will find out very soon that you will need some other types of information. So when you applied your acumen, you will find out that now not only you need to gather the information about revenues and cost of sales, well, for example, you need to gather the information on how many cakes people buy with each sort of the drink that you're offering. And maybe you will find out that people eat more cakes with tea than with coffee because, well, their tummies cannot fit more. Or that, let's say, they are willing to come to you to drink some new type of coffee, but they also want this coffee to be decaf so that they are able to do that in late hours, and so on. So you try to think about what is the type of information, what is the new sources of information that you are going to get. And this means that now you will be assembling a slightly different information or additional information. So you will assemble information, let's say, on the day of the hour when you have sales, and that will give you the insight on when the sales are the slowest or the busiest, and that will be that will give you the ability to find out some insights, and then you will advise on what needs to change. Like, let's go and look into some ideas on how to sell more during evening hours, and then you will come up and you will try to apply that, so to make some positive impact. And then you will think about some other information that you want to gather. So what we've discussed right now is called 5 A's. So this is assemble. And this is like the first stage, well, because we need to assemble the information to be able to actually make knowledgeable decisions. Then we need to analyze the information. We need to advise on the results. We need to apply the insights to make some impact. And we need to apply our commercial acumen to make this process work and to drive changes. And as specialists, we like to work with information because we want our decisions to be informed. So in the following lectures, we are going to talk about information.